Hogwarts Legacy is not even close to being done. Shadow of the what tree now, you say? Exactly.
Alright guys, Wes here, welcome back to the channel. So if you didn't know, Hogwarts Legacy is about to get new updates and features coming to the game. And according to the account on Twitter, they said that we were going to get those updates sometime this summer. Now, as soon as this was announced, this put the entire Hogwarts Legacy community on fire, trying to figure out what this actually meant. Are the updates something as simple as, like, let's say a photo mode, perhaps Quidditch added to the
no one wants Quidditch. Please stop.
The game? It's hard saying, but one thing is for certain, Hogwarts Legacy is getting bigger, and in this video we're going to discuss how they plan on doing that. We have a lot to talk about today, so check the chapters for easy viewing.
Maybe she will have, you know, more looks. If you know what I mean, boys.
And let's get into it. So the biggest update that we've had for Hogwarts Legacy came earlier this year when Avalanche Software confirmed that the PlayStation exclusive quests will be coming to other platforms later in 2024, but they also confirmed that they have...
That sounds like a reasonable thing to assume and actually do, because dude, seriously, you're gonna have only PlayStation exclusive quests? I mean, that's not happening. Relax.
New content in the works, which confirms some new content patches at the very least, but also potentially hinted at a paid DLC. Now, since then, the community has been theorizing about what exactly is in the pipeline for Hogwarts Legacy fans, as there are...
I think for DLC, one of the coolest ones that you could do is like the origin of ancient magic and what's happening to it and why. That could be an easy sell.
There are a lot of things that could be done when it comes to both free and paid add-ons for the base game. Now, one of the most requested features for Hogwarts Legacy that could very easily be a part of new content is a photo mode, which, funny enough, I've been an advocate of photo mode for the longest time. Like during my pre-release coverage for Hogwarts Legacy, I was like, dude, we need a photo mode for this game.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't think that matters at all. Not even in the slightest. Considering this game has ads, there should be a photo mode, right? If this game has ads, there should be a photo mode. So, thinking photo mode is a big deal, a big update is, you know, I have questions if you think photo mode is a big update.
Because it looks all amazing. And the only current way to do a photo mode is by using an NVIDIA graphics card on the PC, using the NVIDIA photo mode feature. Out of all of the new content and updates that could happen for Hogwarts Legacy, I think this is the big one, and it's likely the easiest to implement as well. There is so much care and love put into the recreations of Hogwarts and its surrounding areas, so the fact that there isn't a photo mode in the game right now is almost criminal. Now, another heavily requested addition would be a New Game Plus mode, which I'm actually surprised hasn't been a part of the game so far.
Yeah, this is also slightly surprising. NG Plus is like a big thing. A lot of people want it, a lot of people like it. And NG Plus is one of the easiest ways to keep a game alive for a long time. Now, don't get me wrong, Hogwarts Legacy is still alive and people are playing it, but you know, hey, it could be more alive, like, you know, Dark Souls tier, where people are constantly making videos about redundant random lore that doesn't even make sense at the end of the day, but hey, here's a video anyway. You know, Hogwarts Legacy could actually do that, in my opinion.
This has been another big thing that I've been an advocate for. The New Game Plus mode gives a little bit more replay value to the main story for players, especially for those that want more of a challenge. And if Avalanche added this mode in with some cool in-game rewards, the community would eat it up. In the same vein as New Game Plus would be new difficulty modes. Maybe Avalanche could add like a heroic mode, just something that would make the combat much more difficult during your next playthrough and would take a ton of skill to complete. And honestly, just anything that gives us a bit more to do in this world would be appreciated. Now, as for some other updates and features that we could see.
Dude, Hogwarts Legacy is such a strange thing in a sense, because it is an absolute unanimous success. It is, as I predicted, easy top three minimum best games of the year, and you know, it's actually currently considered with the most sales, because Harry Potter fans are in the billions, literally in the billions, boys. You cannot deny this. J.K. Rowling made a book and became a billionaire. The last guy who's kind of coming close to that is not J.K. Rowling, that's her, but George R.R. Martin. Yeah, that guy with Game of Thrones and, you know, that thing. And he's not even close to becoming a billionaire, okay? J.K. Rowling and Harry Potter is one of the most, absolutely without question, strongest IPs that exist in the whole damn universe.
added to Hogwarts Legacy with this new summer update. It's also possible that some new mini games and side activities will be added to the world. Perhaps some content that got cut from the base game like gobstones, or perhaps wizard's chests. It's believed that gobstones was at some point going to be much more integral to the core experience of the base game, possibly similar to how Gwent is a core part of The Witcher 3. But obviously, if you've played Hogwarts Legacy, you know that gobstones is more or less just an Easter egg, and there's a lot more that could have been done with it. Now, Quidditch is another activity that's essentially just an Easter egg right now because Avalanche Software chose—
God damn it, I hope they don't add Quidditch. Quidditch is just such a annoying thing.
was not to include a playable version of this iconic sport. This is a part of Hogwarts Legacy that I felt was
Didn't all the Quidditch games absolutely flop when they came out?
heavily left out, and it's reported that the reason for Quidditch not being in Hogwarts Legacy was due to the time constraints, as well as the fact that WB has a live service Quidditch game in development, and they didn't want there to be two different versions of the sport, especially so close to one another. However, that decision was made before Hogwarts Legacy became the best-selling game of 2023, so it's very possible that something has changed, and the higher-ups are now much more open to the idea of Hogwarts Legacy having its own version of Quidditch for players to enjoy, and a single—
I'm really surprised though still that this game is receiving technically so little updates after how well it's sold. You would expect there is more, but I have a feeling they can't do this without J.K. Rowling's express permission, because again, J.K. Rowling is like nothing Harry Potter nowadays happens without her direct involvement. She is calling every single shot. So if Warner Brothers says, hey, can we please add a little bit of that, microtransaction pay to win goodness? J.K. Rowling is there like saying, no. But that would make you money. No care. Don't care.
player fashion, as opposed to the upcoming Quidditch multiplayer game, which will surely have its own set of mechanics for the moment-to-moment gameplay. Like I've said for a long time, having a playable version of Quidditch in Hogwarts Legacy would be an absolutely awesome thing, and I know I'm not the only one who would love to be able to play against other NPCs while I play as my original Hogwarts student.
Avacadabra, the guy in front of you, like, come on.
Now this is the part where things get pretty interesting, as this could be our first big teaser that something pretty big is happening with the game, whether that just be a big summer update or a DLC added to the game. Now, as a part of the first anniversary celebration, the official Wizarding World website put out a ton of insane stats regarding the player base for Hogwarts Legacy, but they also snuck something in at the very end that has me really curious. According to the stats, over 877 million potions have been made, over 5.2 billion.
Yeah, that doesn't tell me a lot though, so who cares?
Billion dark wizards have been defeated, 783 million stealth attacks have been executed, 1.3 billion plants have been harvested, and just so on and so forth. All of that's really cool, great, interesting, but that's not the part that I want to talk about. At the very bottom of the page, they said, and that's all in 1 year. Where will the next 12 months take us, we wonder, but for now, let's celebrate Hogwarts Legacy's first anniversary in the best way possible. I'm sorry, you do not put those words at the bottom of the screen if you didn't plan on giving us something pretty substantial. Is it a teaser? Is it copium?
I mean, it's probably at least one of those two things, either a teaser or copium, because, man, Warner Brothers is probably starting that every single day, begging J.K. Rowling, the most extraordinary MILF in the universe, to just allow them to milk Hogwarts Legacy a little bit harder, okay? Considering Warner Brothers has failed at absolutely everything else there is to fail at this point, I mean, this is the only W they have under their belt, especially in gaming and, movies and whatnot.
They think that there are definitely some big plans in the works to keep people playing Hogwarts Legacy for another year. As for what exactly that will be remains to be seen. And there's one question that a lot of fans have been asking regarding Hogwarts Legacy is, where is the Hogwarts Legacy documentary? In late 2023, Avalanche Software revealed that there was a full-length documentary in the works about their blockbuster game titled The Wizardry Behind Hogwarts Legacy. And while it was originally slated for a 2023 release, it is still not released, and we have no idea where it is. While it's totally understandable understandable for something to get delayed, especially when it's
By the way, fun fact, any gun is stronger than a wizard.
connected to Avalanche Software, who really take their time.
Fun fact, any sniper is 100 times stronger than any wizard.
With everything they do, it's a little strange for the documentary to basically just have disappeared into thin air without any official word from the developers or from Warner Brothers. We know the film didn't get canceled because their trailer is still only a few months old, and they wouldn't have canceled something like this so quickly after revealing it, but it's not like that gets us any closer to actually figuring out where it is. But what if I told you that Avalanche Software might have taken a page out of Peeves' notebook that he threw—
Wait, look at how nice this looks, how aesthetically pleasing it is, how good it is. It's just a ginormous fin
off the shelf, and there's a bit of trickery at play. What if the reason the documentary has been delayed is because it actually spoils some of the new content or possibly DLC in some way? This documentary has been—
well, there it is, boys, the copium. Obviously, if your documentary spoils anything, you do this crazy thing called just cut it out, edit it out, make it disappear, make it gone, and then you release it without the spoilers.
in the works for quite some time now, but we only ever got official confirmation of some kind of new content earlier this year. What if the DLC being planned for Hogwarts Legacy is being built on stuff that was originally made for the base game but had to be cut? This could explain why the documentary has been quietly delayed, because if Avalanche was originally not planning on making any type of DLC, they were probably unconcerned about showing things in the doc—
Oh, look at this, it's a pond and it's a stag and stuff. I think that's a reference.
Documentary that didn't make it into the final product. However, now that they're going back and using unfinished gameplay assets, or
Avacadabra the stag,
perhaps just new content is being made for the DLC that the documentary showcases, the
show him what Bambi is all about.
documentary would then kind of serve as one giant spoiler for those unreleased mechanics or gameplay features, meaning it would make the most sense for them to hold on to the documentary's release until that new content is added, or at the—
yeah, I think that's complete copium.
very least is officially revealed. Now at this point, I'm giving Warner Brothers and Avalanche Software a few more months to confirm that a paid story expansion or some type of DLC is in the works before I once again give up hope on it. More specifically, I'm expecting a confirmation to come during a Summer Games showcase, assuming the thing is real and general. Now if I had to pick a showcase to watch specifically, I'd put my money on the PlayStation showcase that is likely going to happen somewhere between May and July. Sony has worked on several marketing deals with Warner Brothers in the past, and Hogwarts Legacy even had a decent amount of PlayStation exclusive content, not to mention there was an entire PlayStation State of Play for Hogwarts Legacy. So it seems reasonable, if we are to believe, that we are getting some sort of DLC or trailer for the DLC during the next few months. It'll likely be at a PlayStation event, as opposed to just being a random trailer drop or something like that. I would say that it's going to be at Summer Games Showcase, but we all know how the Game Awards went. So again, I'm betting on something to happen at a Sony showcase, or they just announce it on their YouTube channel. Now, the Warner Brothers CEO has once again commented on a lot of new Harry Potter content coming in the near future. The WB CEO recently confirmed that the new HBO adaptation of the 7 original books is going to debut in 2026, and since Hogwarts Legacy is still largely responsible for the revival of the Harry Potter IP over the last year, I think there's a very good chance that the Warner Brothers CEO wants the show to debut relatively close to either the reveal or release of the second Hogwarts Legacy game. We know a sequel is in the works, but a release window hasn't been confirmed. Personally, I'm thinking 2026 or a 27 release date would be realistic for—
yeah, that is probably the most realistic, I guess, to a degree. Also, well, maybe early 2026 is realistic. Late 2025 is also actually kind of realistic. But then again, I literally don't think anyone's even gonna try to compete with, for example, GTA 6, because that is effectively self-deletion.
For Avalanche Software to hit that deadline. And sure, the first Hogwarts Legacy game was in development for an absurd amount of time, but the first game also laid out a great foundation for the sequel to jump off of, meaning Avalanche doesn't have to rebuild game mechanics from scratch this time around. So it's safe to assume that the sequel won't be in development for nearly as long as the 2023 game, but even still, is 3 to 4 years enough time to get a massive game like Hogwarts Legacy 2 ready for release? Avalanche—
yeah, kinda. They're probably not gonna upgrade the engine. Well, maybe they are, and that would be actually, well, that would make it longer than 4 years or 3 years or whatever. That would probably push it to 6 or 7 years of fate time. But if they're not upgrading the engine, then sequels are easier because you have all the assets. You just need a story, and you need to just add new things. That's why sequels are technically so ridiculously easier than just making a new game or whatever. That's why you can pump out a Call of Duty every year. Also because that game is shit. But it is what it is.
Software have greatly expanded their workforce since the first game's release, but will that be enough time to get the sequel out in time to cross-promote with the new show? Personally, I have absolute faith in Avalanche Software to make something great, but I also know that they need to be given room to cook, so hopefully WB doesn't get too greedy with Hogwarts Legacy 2 and doesn't try to force something out the door for the sake of a quick buck, instead of allowing the team the time and space they need to make a proper follow-up. Well, guys,
again, I don't think that's an issue because J.K. Rowling is calling the shots. She has full creative oversight of everything here, I think. So there is no world that they're gonna ever be allowed to just put out something that's uncooked. Again, the good part about people like J.K. Rowling and Elon Musk is the fact that they have so much money they literally do not care about just making more money. They just care more about creating a legacy and things like that. And actually, you know, causes and stuff like that. Well, causes aren't always necessarily good, but you kind of get the point, right? In any case, that was Wish Nemo. Hogwarts Legacy. Hallelujah, boys. It is great. I love it. Anyway, this was Quizzer Said, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.